There's a place in Florida where the system doesn't raise boys, it builds monsters.
The family is having a hard time with their son Demetrius Jordan's death. The 18-year-old was once housed at the Indian River Correctional Facility in Vero Beach.
Indian River Juvenile Correctional Institution isn't just where they send troubled teens. It's where future convicts are forged, through blood, beatdowns, and broken minds. It's not on TV, there's no rehabilitation, just chaos, silence, and 100 fists waiting for the weak to walk in. Inside Indian River, names don't mean anything unless you're willing to fight for them. Rival cities, locked doors, no cameras when it counts. What starts as a short stint turns into lifelong trauma, or for some, a criminal career. Many organizations were formed in these youth facilities, but the one that grew the fastest was NPR. Money, power, respect. As those early members aged out and hit the adult system, they brought NPR into Florida DOC, and that's where the real structure began. NPR started developing ranks, chains of command, and yard discipline. Eventually, the system caught on. The feds started connecting violent incidents, jail calls, and street crews to a bigger name, NPR. The case that brought it all to light was the indictment of Keon Moore out of Tampa. The government labeled him a high-ranking member of a violent and structured organization. He was hit with drug charges, firearm possession, and gang leadership allegations. In 2024, Hauser got 17.5 years in federal prison, and once the feds say structured organization, it changes everything. In 2025, Keon Moore is trying to come home, and he's making it known from behind the wall. In a video that recently surfaced from inside, Hauser speaks directly on his situation, saying it's not just the charges that got him stuck, it's 1090 Jake.
I really fuck with a nigga how y'all say, man. Everybody need to repost this shit, cause this shit real shit, bro. For real, the whole Tampa need to stand behind this shit, bro. Cause this man got down fucking the nigga up, like from coming home type shit, like for real, bro. By doing that type, nobody saying nothing, bro. Y'all act like y'all fuck. All my brothers need to be standing on this shit, bro. Anybody who 57 who act like it's love, but y'all need to be standing on this shit for real. Ain't got no games to be playing, bro. Good cutting ass nigga. Nah, for real though, bro. For real, y'all need to stand on that shit. Everybody who say around, y'all be following and liking this shit, bro. But that kind of need to pay homage for that shit, bro. Because at the end of the day, this stopping the nigga from coming home, bro. And y'all acting like y'all cool with this shit.
According to Hauser, the reason his sentence got hit so hard, and why every attempt to get back in front of a judge has been shut down, is because of 1090's Instagram posts and YouTube videos exposing Florida gang politics. He claims the feds used those videos to paint him as a gang leader, not based on what he did, but based on how the internet sees him. I can't come home because of dude's videos, he says. And just like that, the line between content and consequence gets even blurrier.
Bro, I'm just saying, he just used my picture and shit, bro, and got me associated with this shit, dog. And these crackers been talking about Rico and me for this same shit, you feel me? Talking about you don't know a nigga and understand that, famo. But at the same time, fam, these crackers using this shit in my court dates and all this shit. Every time they bring up emotion, even I said emotion, but the crackers sent me out talking about this shit, bro. So it's really like a nigga out of pocket, right? For real though, I feel like I really feel all my brothers really feel like, bro, a nigga need to be getting paid for this shit, cause really you put me in jeopardy, fam. You really putting these crackers on the nigga and really putting these crackers on a nigga and shit like that. Even though I'm already in the feds, you made it worse, bro, because now they feeling like, okay, well, we got to make an example out this nigga for real because he's getting talked about too much. You feel me?
After reviewing the actual motion, nowhere in Hauser's paperwork does it mention 1090 Jake or blame his videos for keeping the alleged NPR leader incarcerated, not in black and white, not on paper. And while it's possible the judge took online content into account, what's more likely is that this is a clout move, not a legal one. What makes it even crazier is the irony. Hauser is calling Jake out from inside federal prison using a contraband cell phone, live on Instagram. The same kind of content the system uses to rack up time. Meanwhile, 1090 Jake went on the news, exposing how inmates and COs are smuggling in phones and drugs, talking openly about corruption in Florida prisons. And now he's the one being targeted by an inmate with a phone. The timing, too perfect. Jake just dropped his flag. He walked away from the Bloods, and now Bloods across the country, including Hauser, are calling him out. And here's the twist. Everyone's calling Jake a snitch for saying what everyone already knows, that phones and dope move through the hands of COs and inmates. But the one calling him out, he's saying it while on a phone from behind the wall, and still hasn't been caught. That's not real politics. That's hypocrisy wrapped in Wi-Fi.
Okay, first off, happy Father's Day to the real dads. You know who you are. 1090 Jake has a leader from a gang now saying that he is not getting free because of Jake, in his Instagram posts and videos alleging that this dude is a leader or all this crap, right? Now, my thing is this. A couple years ago when Jake was doing that, no one had a problem with it, including him. You know, they were like, oh, I'm getting, shouted out by 1090 Jake. At the time, he was big and had nothing on his name, on his jacket. But now it seems like, with the help of Byron Blake, everyone's going to come after Jake, and they're kind of using this as a clout move a little bit, in my opinion. Now, Byron Blake, he has been right about some things. One of the monumental things that he exposed was the grievance. But when it comes to his opinion, that's what you're getting on most of these videos, respectfully. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I figured out the plan that 1090 Jake and Whack 100 both are doing simultaneously. And that is basically rewrite history and water down the politics of snitching. And let me explain. So the reason that they did a tag team move to expose Larry Hoover is because they're now showing the founder, the reason why everyone catches bodies and does all this thing for somebody is actually somebody that snitches. So therefore, they're trying to just end it all, because both of them have had subjective times of snitching. Both of them, Whack 100 and 1090 Jake. And it's crazy. This is not a long thing that lasted long. Like, you got certain niches that will last forever. But when it comes to 1090's niche of exposing people, there's an expiration date of the person doing it or the content itself. And he's trying to end the content before he keeps having all this hate and have to look over his shoulder for the rest of his life. And then what it is going to make upcoming YouTubers that do that, they're going to have a time to shine, like a Byron Blake, like a Mickey Truth. But the higher you climb, the more compromise you get. Because 1090 Jake at one point would expose his own grandmother if she was a rat. Like, he even exposed Breezy, a Latin king, and Breezy was in transition of joining something close to Jake. Like, they were going to be best friends forever, man. He was going to manage him. He was going to take him under his wing, and then paperwork came out, and he had to expose him, which, I don't know, looking back at it now, I bet he wished he would have done that. He would have compromised with him. But he didn't. So Adam22 has been throwing 1090 Jake under the bus, saying 1090 Jake knows an artist out there right now that is one of the top artists in hip-hop and has bad paperwork on him. But 1090 Jake will not expose him because he got calls from the upper label telling him, yo, don't do that. And he probably got threatened too. Like, we know how it goes. But at the same time, that's not why we subbed to end the sentence. We subbed to end the sentence because he didn't give a fuck. He was going to expose everybody. If they had it on there, he's going to expose it. But now we're at the point where 1090 Jake, he's compromised and his integrity is just out the window. I seen somebody say that his credibility is out the window, and I do not agree to that. His credibility is still the same. He's still very credible. If he's going to drop a video, everyone's going to go watch it, especially what the title, it depends on what it is. But at the end of the day, he's still making moments in the YouTube streets. All right, man, this New Age plug, you did it again. I hear a lot of people complaining about the AI in the beginning of the video saying, oh, this is an AI channel. No, listen, we're a diverse channel. We're probably the only channel you've seen that does this, but we do AI, we do podcasts. We'll be live tonight talking about your favorite YouTubers. So come get in your feelings, man. YouTube Streets Podcast, New Age plug. You did it again. Florida, stand up.